I don't even know where to begin because I have to tell you something. You were so amazing in this film.
That's a very good place to begin.
And I was just telling David that this was the first Harry Potter that I actually cried. I really, really cried a lot. The emotional roller coaster that you went through in this film. Tell me a little bit about that. How hard was that for you, Daniel?
It was hard, but at the same time, I relish any kind of challenge that's given to me. And David was he is such a brilliant director that I don't know. It helps to have someone there who's completely unpatronising and is willing to push you, and you do rise to that challenge. And I think everybody's done that in these films. Everybody's taken a big step up, and you do go through a roller coaster. I mean, for me, the hardest challenge was doing all the stuff about Sirius's death, because in my life, fortunately, touch wood, I've never been bereaved. And so what me and David did, it was David's very good idea, was to get a grief counsellor to come to the set and just talk about it, because though I could never hope to understand the reaction to death on an emotional level, having never experienced it, if I could tap into it on some intellectual sort of wavelength, then that would be, that was a way of getting into those scenes, I felt. And so that was very, very helpful. And so it was a roller coaster, but it was a really fun ride.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we, as I said, we've seen you grow up literally on screen with
Yes.
this cast, with playing Harry, and I'm thinking as I'm watching it, going, wow, I think this is the Harry that Daniel really related to most in terms of the teenage angst and things that you're going through in real life as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a very fair comment. But also it was the Harry I loved playing the most, and this film was, it amazes people for some reason that after 5 films I can still be enjoying it, but I do, and on the 5th more than any of the others I had the best time, simply because of the acting challenges that were around. And so yeah, and David was, as I said, the perfect director at this point, because I was really up for really trying to sink my teeth into the part this time, and so hopefully I've managed to do that. And well, you certainly seem to think so, so that's wonderful.
Yeah, and working with, of course, Emma and Rupert
Yeah.
again, and by now you guys are more than a family. I can't even imagine what it's like.
It is incredible, yes.
And to in this film too, Harry goes through this where he kind of shuns his friends a little. He's lonely. He doesn't. What's that like to play that, and knowing that you've been kind of friends with these actors, and again relating on that level?
It is. It was great, and I think Harry does the thing I think we all do in life, which is that you lash out at the people that you care about most and that you love the most, because ultimately you know that you're going to be fine. You lash out at the people you can lash out at, because ultimately you're going to be great friends again. And I think everybody does that, and I think I certainly, I've done that. I think everybody has, and and Harry goes through a lot of that in this film. He really shuns his friends in a sort of quite a selfish way, because he wants to go it alone, when actually, as Ron says to him, he doesn't have to do it all by himself. And I think that's one of the lessons that Harry learns in this film.
Mm-hmm. And he's also becomes a leader, whereas very much like you on the set, I think people really look up to you too.
Somebody said that to you? Oh my God. Well, and why wouldn't they? No, no. I mean, well, if that's true, then wonderful. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think we all have a great relationships with each other, and we're all, as we're all growing, we all sort of look to each other for the support on set, and I think and we all get it. So I don't know if there's, I would never place myself at the top of any sort of hierarchy, because that's not how it works on the set. We're all very much on one level. But I certainly look up to Gary Oldman greatly, and so that was it was fantastic to work with him.
I understand there was a little trick that he did to get you really, really emotional at that scene.
Yes, there was. Yeah, there was actually. He said to me in his death scene, he said, we're doing a few takes and we've been going at it for about 2 hours. We've probably been doing the scene, and then he said to me, Dan, do you mind if I sort of I do something a little bit more physical with you this time? And I sort of said, yeah, fine, thinking maybe he's going to give me a hug or something like that. And but actually he took me by the shoulders and shook me incredibly hard for about 30 seconds and shouted at me. And it's a bizarre phenomenon, is that you sort of regress very quickly into this childlike state, and I just started sort of crying, which was bizarre, but it really worked. And Gary and me have a lot of trust between each other when we're acting together, and I really enjoy working with him. and so he knew that he could do that, and he did, and I think it really worked.
Oh God,
Yeah.
it's true.
And I mean, when he was shaking me and screaming at me, there was a queue of people behind him waiting to do the same for totally different reasons.
And you had your big kiss scene in this movie. Oh,
Yes.
not bad, Daniel. You're moving up in the world here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I now yes. It's yeah, no, it was a lot of attention's being given to that scene, and rightly so. It's a scene that's been greatly anticipated for a few years now. The hysterical thing was that when we did this press junket for the 4th Harry Potter film, everybody was saying, "So you have your first kiss in this film?" And I was like, "Well, no, I don't actually. That's the next one," and people were very disappointed. So this year, their hopes will not go unfulfilled.
Absolutely. Now, there's no question that, millions and millions of us know you around the world as Harry Potter, but obviously you have moved on in your own personal life. You've done the stage, which was, awesome for you. You've got other films coming out. How important to you, is that to move on and still do Harry and still relate to him, but you know what? Show people, I gotta move on. I'm getting older here.
Well, that's exactly it. I would never want to just completely distance myself from Harry, because I'm incredibly proud of the films, particularly this one, and I love playing Harry. But it is important to me to show that I can do other roles, and hopefully Equus was a step towards showing people that, and so will hopefully the films that I'm doing another film later this year for TV, and another film will be coming out later this year, an Australian film called December Boys, which I did. So hopefully people will start to see me as an actor rather than the actor who plays Harry Potter.
I hear you have a mean Aussie accent in that film.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, the thing is, a lot of Australians have commented very, very positively on it, and if I can impress them, then I feel I've done my job.
I can't wait to see that. It comes out in December or in September. Really quickly, are you looking forward? I know Half-Blood Prince is getting ready to go and David is going to be back. How awesome is that?
It's fantastic. I mean, I'm really raring to go and work with him again. It is an incredibly exciting prospect for me.
Well, very, very excited to see the next one. I can't wait. And are you looking forward to the book? The last book?
I am very much looking forward to it. I have no idea what happens.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Daniel. Lovely to
Thank
see you, and best of luck.